Hey, all you Splinterheads, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying thanks for dropping by. I appreciate your time. In this episode, I'm going to do a recap of the town square held last night, which would have been October 2nd, 2023. This is not going to be a complete recap. There are some subjects I left out, but I pulled out what I felt were the biggest items and left some of the items I left out I've already covered in other videos. And we can discuss going forward. If you have any ideas, just go ahead and leave them in the comments. Okay, with that said, obviously I think one of the biggest things that he talked about started off with Land 1.5 being pushed back. And whether he's learned from the past and releasing dates or not, he said he felt pretty secure that Land 1.5 was going to be released at the end of October. We all know how that goes. Either way, the main takeaway there is that Land is pushed back a little bit. They're having bugs they're working through. We've been talking about this for a while. That's that. But the news item here is that Rebellion has been pulled forward a little bit from the last time we heard. And he said the pre-sale is expected before Land 1.5 is released. So that's a little bit of update of that information. Okay, the next big bit of information, which was considered a piece of alpha, was that the next Riftwatcher's airdrop card, Immolation, was announced, and after I get through this list, we'll go ahead and take a look at it, short look at it, if you haven't seen it, and I will include the applicable links in the show notes. Okay, with that said, it's about to hit in about 4 days. So if you want to get in on it, if you're still collecting packs and trying to get those airdrops, the figure he gave was 275 packs. So if you have 275 packs, then you're guaranteed one copy, and you can multiply that out. Obviously, if you've bought less packs, then you have a much lower percentage. My percentage is almost nil. So if I want one of these cards, which I still need to get one of the C-Rex, he's on my list, and this one will be on my list too, but I'll probably just have to buy that outright when people sell them on the store. Okay, anyway, 4 days. Okay, so the next item is the DAO should hold non-Splinterlands funds for diversification. Easy for me to say. Okay, so this item has come up in light of multiple DAO proposals that we've been talking about over the last few weeks, okay? And it's one of the ideas that's been in the back of my head, is that we don't necessarily want to put all our eggs in one basket and have all Splinterlands assets in the DAO, okay? And this is from a basic kind of investment principle. I know people have told me out on this before, that the DAO is not an investment vehicle. That's correct. But hear me out. Matt listed several reasons why we should not have, quote unquote, all our eggs in one basket and have all our DAO funds in Splinterlands, SPS and DEC. So if you're interested in that, go check the video out. But I'll leave it at that because I have another video that kind of touches on this that I released last night. Okay, next item. Untamed will be cycling out with Rebellion. We've all expected this. It's kind of a common thing. If you're a card player, you know how this goes. When a new set comes in, cycles into Modern, the old set cycles out. So in this case, Untamed will be cycling out. My guess, and he didn't specify, is that when Rebellion packs, when we actually get to open them, because there's going to be a pre-sale period, and then there's going to be the actual date which you can open the packs. My guess is when the packs go live and you can open the packs, that's the date right in that area whenever the patch that coincides with that happens, that Untamed will be cycling out. And as Matt said, I think that Modern will get a little bit... I hate to say easy, because Modern since the bots proposal went live and everything has gotten more difficult. It has, because you have straight human on human interaction and it's tough, but people are adjusting. But with that said, a lot of the big cards, a lot of the big name cards that you're getting hit with over and over and over and over again, like Lamacron, stuff like that, Kitty, those will be cycling out. So if you're currently playing in Modern and you don't have any of those cards and you don't rent them and you get tired of getting hit by those guys, they're going to be leaving. So there's that. Okay, so next up, Rebellion sales will draw profit for the company and the DAO, but also prove investment potential. So one of the big points that Matt brought up was the fact that not only, obviously, the company's in a position where they need some money in their coffers, right? Because he also talked about them having about 4 to 5 months. If they didn't draw any profit in, they'd have 4 or 5 months worth of funds to keep the company afloat. That's not great. Okay, so getting Rebellion out, doing the pre-sales will serve two purposes. Okay, so it'll give the company some money, and some of that money, obviously, if Matt's proposal, the half and half thing, goes through, then some of that money will go in the DAO as well, which he said should be interesting to see what happens and what they can do with the DAO going forward when it starts getting a bunch of money in it. But it will line the coffers of the company as well. But the second part of that is he's been talking about it recently since last week and the changeover and the split of companies and everything, that he's going to be going out and trying to get major investment in the company. And the other thing that proves to potential investors is, hey, this company can sell cards or sell packs and make a good, decent amount of money. Okay, so obviously big investors are only going to invest in a project that they see potential profit in, right? So I found that interesting. Okay. The next thing that piggybacked with that when he was talking about the Rebellion is the fact that there's going to be completely new game mechanics, which he kind of held off on. And he said they do the full announcement whenever they announced all the details about the pack sales and everything. But on that note, he said that he expected it would be about the same price as Riftwatchers. It would be $5 or $4 with the usage of one or multiple vouchers. So he didn't do any specifications, but that's what he said. But furthermore, there's going to be a large change in how the airdrops are done. Previously people bought up large portions of packs just to be able to get the airdrops and then dumped them on the store for sale at very much cheap. And he wants to try to avoid that. And he said several items around this whole thought process, and I completely agreed with it. But the whole takeaway there is what he mentioned was the fact that you may have to, going forward, buy the packs and either hold them unopened or buy cards, and just through buying cards or packs, you have a certain percentage, obviously, to get an airdrop. Obviously, the mechanic is still in there to promote buying more, so you get more percentage, but there might be some idea there of holding packs, etc. No details, just things that they talked about. So next item, along with that, is the high number of packs with burn mechanism from the start and vouchers used. Okay, I kind of mentioned that, but he said that the whole discussion around, hey, how many packs should be released? Should we go low? Should we go high? It was a big mistake with Chaos Legion, etc., etc. He's going to stick with a high amount of packs, but there's going to be a burn mechanism implemented from the get-go. And he further stated that he expected that this would be about a year process. So he expected that this set would be on sale for about a year, and due to sales, unless of course it sold out quicker. If it did, great, more money for the DAO and more money for the company. But if it was just left to moderate sales and the burn mechanism, we're looking at about a year. Okay, so furthermore, on that said, one of the big things that happened in the past that he did not like was the mass card pack sales, promoting people buying these huge amounts of card packs just to be able to get the bonuses, right? And the free items or whatever they got to them, and then being left with a lot of assets they really didn't need, so they dumped them on the market for cheap, whatever. So he wanted to promote the idea of buy what you need, buy what you're going to use. But ultimately, in the end, he wanted to compare it more like he wants to get back to what it was during alpha and beta, where people saw value in the card packs they bought and they used the cards they got, but in the end, they wish they had bought more. So a little bit of FOMO going on there. So I completely agree with it. Sounds like a good idea to me. So there's that. Okay, so let's see. Next item, the new Soulbound set guest date of mid to late 2024. So someone had asked, since Rebellion will be coming out, and we still have the Chaos Legion the Chaos Legion Riftwatchers Soulbound cards, when will they go out of print, and when will the new set come in print? First of all, obviously the main answer is, hey, we're not even working on that yet. We're concentrating on Land and Rebellion, right? Okay, so with that understood, he kind of looked forward, and he this was a guess, right? He said probably mid to late next year, 2024, they'd be looking at putting out new and switching over to the Soulbound set. Okay. So the next big item was the SPS reduction schedule has not been implemented in all situations. Okay, so we all know that there's a reduction schedule, whereas SPS, the amount of SPS being given away should be decreasing by 1% per month as time goes along. And I'm not going to get into details. If you want to get into details, check out the white paper. But the takeaway here is that in all cases, it hasn't been implemented, and it hasn't been reducing as it should have been, the pools being given out for the different things within the game. They haven't all been reducing at the 1% per month, which they should have been. Okay, there's that. But he said they're looking into it, they're doing the numbers, and hopefully they will go ahead and rectify that. Now, what that really means was that they haven't been giving out too much. Just the opposite. They've been really giving out not enough, right? So, and with this situation, if they would have been giving out more, it would just make SPS even more diluted, which is what we don't need. So more on that as things go along. And probably the biggest item, arguably, to me, that popped out of this meeting was the fact that he said that his idea was that when Phase 2 of Land hit, he would like to remove SPS mining from Land. And all kinds of alarms just ran off in my head. Now, step back a minute, okay? I'm going to say, yes, I understand where SPS is now. And I understand the dilution and how that's going, okay? And I understand that getting rid of that steady funnel or stream of SPS to people would help SPS, would help the value, right? And his statement was along the lines of, at that point, there will be so many other things you can do with your land, you won't even be worried about SPS mining. And that may be true, because I'm not privy to all the ideas that he has and everything that's been worked on by the team. However, let me throw this at you. One of the main reasons landholders especially, and I'm guessing this, one of the main reasons people invest a lot of money in the land, especially keep holders, castle holders, and the holders of the land property that gives 100% bonus to SPS mining, is the fact that you can mine SPS, which gives you value. Okay, so you're going to tell me that if I'm a castle holder, a keep holder, if I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in land, that you're going to come along and just strip that out from underneath me? Maybe he'll be right. Maybe at that point there'll be something much better I could do with my land. But for me right now, it's hard to see that. Okay, and I'm going in to land 1.5 very median. I'm not SPS focused. I'm going to do a little SPS. I'm going to do a little bit of magic research, and I'm going to do a little bit of grain farming to even it all out, right? But the first thing I thought of is, what if I was what if I just spent several thousands of dollars in land specifically to mine SPS, and heard him say that? Lots of alarms went off. So if that's your situation, well, just go ahead and put in the comments what you feel about what I just said. Do you agree with me? I mean, yeah, it could be possible where you get up and running, and at that point we're mining this, we're creating this, we're doing magic research and combining to make X items and selling those, and then getting SPS or DEC out of those items. That's fine. But this was a major item, and it's almost like he just kind of slipped it in the conversation, and it was kind of not a big thing to him. To me, it was a big thing. Okay. So let's go ahead and end show. And let's look at immolation. I want to say immolation. I guess immolation is the verb, and immolation is the noun. Okay, so it is once again, just like a lot of the other Riftwatchers airdrops cards, a big mob. You know, it is 12 mana. I think they've been using Riftwatchers to try to fill in that back end of the what was kind of missing from the set that would allow you to go from the 50 to 60 mana range up to that 100 range with some big monsters. So with that said, it's big, it's magic, it's got a decent amount of health, and it's got some interesting powers. So I look forward to playing around with it. I probably would buy it at level 3 because I fight in gold, or my Archmage bot fights in gold. So we talked about how you would go about getting it. I'll probably just wait and buy it on the secondary market. So with that said, let's just go out on that. Take another look at that. I love these big cards. I've always hated being in a situation where I have 100 mana to spend and only being able to get up to, like, 60 or something like that, and having all those wasted mana. Anyway, this has been Bronze Dragon, hopefully bringing you up a little bit to date. If you agreed or disagreed with anything I had to say on this, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I will talk to you on the flip side.